Hi everyone. Sorry we're getting a little bit of a late start today. We are making spinach artichoke dip. I am so excited. It is incredibly delicious, the spinach artichoke dip. And talk about a way of getting your veggies. Check this out. This is packed down, all right? Feast your eyes on 18 ounces of baby spinach. Okay, that's more than a pound. That's a pound and 2 ounces. That's a lot of spinach. And you know, we are gonna make it go down so easy in this delicious dip. I think you're gonna love it. Okay, so just in case you're just joining us now, my name is Elena. I'm the founder here at the Kids Table. I'm very happy to be making this delicious dip with you guys. So, first things first, let's just, well, first of all, why don't you wash your hands if you haven't done so already? I just washed mine, so I'm not gonna wash mine. And then I'm gonna go over the ingredients that we have, both to make sure I have everything, even though I already checked. It's always good to double check. And so that you can make sure you have everything if you're cooking with me. So, we need 18 ounces, 1 pound, 2 ounces of spinach. It's right here. Should be washed. Now, I got the bagged triple wash spinach, which I have to say, for over a pound of spinach, I highly recommend that. So I've got that here. We need some olive oil. We need some shallots. Check these out. What? They're so cool. We need 4 of these. Oh, hey, Lila, I can read. Nice to see you. Glad you're cooking with us today. We need 4 of these guys. This one's a little small. This one's a little larger. So what's a normal size shallot? I don't know. I got a mix. So delicious. They're kind of like a cross between onion and garlic. So we need 4 of these. And I'll show you guys how to break them down like we do for kids. You know, I don't know what age group you're cooking with. Obviously, you know, anyone who's comfortable old enough using a chef knife, I'll show you that. And I'll show you how we prep it to so kids can use choppers. Are these awesome tools. Oh, pre-prepped, amazing. So this is, we need 4 garlic cloves. So 4 shallots, 4 garlic cloves. We need a can. How much is my can actually? Mine's 14 ounces. So it says 12 ounces marinated artichoke hearts. Now, I couldn't find any marinated artichoke hearts, so I just got regular artichoke hearts. We have so much flavor in this dish, I'm sure it's gonna be delicious. And I actually need a little bit less than this, so I'll pick out a few pieces because it just says 12 ounces. Oh, Ainsley's on, all right. I'm glad we got a good crew today, amazing. We also need 16 ounces of cream cheese. There's a lot of cream cheese. So it's basically like 2 regular 8-ounce packages. We get it in big blocks because we go through a lot of it, so I weighed it out, but this is 16 ounces. We need a cup of Greek-style yogurt, which I have right here in a bowl. And we need 4 ounces of Parmesan, which I have right here, which we're gonna grate. Oh, I don't have a grater. Ugh. I'll have to run and get a grater. And then we need some salt and pepper. And that's it. So that's what we need for ingredients. As far as tools go, we need a pot or a pan. I've got a really big pan, and you need it big because we're gonna be sauteing all this spinach. I'll give you guys some tips on how to make sure that it, you know, you can add some, let it cook down a little bit. It'll be great, but get as big of a pan as you can. We need a spoon. We can actually make our dip right in our pan, but if you don't want to do that, you'll want a bowl. Yes, salt and pepper, definitely. Yep, we're gonna need a total of a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and then the pepper is, you know, to your taste. And then you need a baking dish. So I think what would be really perfect for this would be like an 8 or 9 inch glass square baking dish or something like that. We don't have one here because we tend to do a lot of individual stuff. So I'm just using this round baking pan, and it's gonna be great. Okay, and then of course you need a stovetop, and that is about it. A couple measuring tools. So you need a half a cup for your parm. You know, you can eyeball it, that's what I'm gonna do. You need a tablespoon to measure out your oil. If you haven't already measured your Greek yogurt, you'll want a cup for that. And then you'll also want a 1/4 teaspoon to measure out your salt. So hopefully you guys are all ready to go. I know I don't have a grater to do my cheese yet, but I will grab that in a moment. I could just shave my cheese, but I think a grater is a little more fun. So the first thing that we want to do, you know, the spinach, it says to chop it, which you definitely can do with a knife. And it's just a coarse chop. It doesn't need to be finely chopped, but you can also just tear it. So that's a great way to do it for younger kids who, can't use a chef knife yet. And these choppers don't work very well on leafy greens like this. They just tend to smash it. So you can literally just take these and tear it up. And definitely keep the stems. There's no need to get rid of the stems. So you can just do a coarse tear with this. This is a lot of spinach to tear. So if you haven't done this already, I hope you're gonna enjoy watching me tear 18 ounces of spinach. Don't worry, I'll go pretty quickly. Because you can stack the leaves when you do this. So you can just grab a handful like this, just very loosely stack, because this is not an exact science, We just don't want real big strings of spinach in our dip, right? We want it to be, like not stringy. So the pieces, probably we don't want them bigger than about that big. Of course, spinach cooks down a lot. So, that amount of spinach wouldn't even fit in this pan right now, right? So we're gonna saute it and it will cook down, so it'll be perfect. So I'm doing this right on my table, which you can totally do as long as your work surface is clean. It's a good benefit of making sure that you're prepped properly. You have a nice clean work surface because then you can work right on it. And then once I'm done, I can put my spinach back into my colander. All right. I am not even a 1/4 of the way done with my spinach. I don't need this can opener. But we're just tearing it up. I bet you could do this with kale or Swiss chard. I just planted my garden not that long ago, and I've got kale and Swiss chard growing. It's not ready yet, but I think this would be delicious with that. So you could just sub out probably the same amount of weight and just cook it a little bit longer, because those leafy greens are a little bit tougher. They don't wilt down as quickly as spinach does. Like you'll see this spinach, as soon as it hits the pan almost, it's gonna wilt. Wow, look at my ever-growing pile of spinach. I wonder how many spinach leaves are in this 18 ounces. I did not count, so I could have a competition about this, but I don't have any answers. But I think it's a lot. That would be the answer that I would have, is a lot. So by the way, guys, I still haven't put up recipes for after today for our Facebook Lives. We are going to continue doing them. I just haven't picked the menus yet. I know we talked about this a little bit last week. So if you guys have any ideas, now's the time. Think about it while you're tearing up spinach, and you can stick them in a comment and I'll see what I can do. Okay, I'm definitely halfway done now. Perfect. Hopefully you guys are tearing with me, because otherwise this could get a little tiresome. I could tell you guys a joke, a little spinach tearing joke. Some food jokes. Maybe you guys have some too. How about why is 6 afraid of 7? You guys know that one? I'll give you guys a moment so you can think about it. I know there's a little bit of a delay with the comments popping up, so I'll let you mull it over for a moment, and I'll tell you when I'm done tearing my spinach. Why is 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9, yes. That's cute, right? It's a little cheesy, but you know, I think a good cheesy joke now and again is a good thing. So I've got, oh yes, because 7, 8, oh yeah, I like you spelled it out like that, exactly. Right, I got you though. Anybody else have a joke they want to share? I've got just a little bit more spinach to get through. I took the spinach I still need to tear out of the colander and put it on the table and put the torn spinach in the colander. That started to feel like it made more sense. So this is it. I'm almost done. And then we've got to do some chopping. We need to chop up our shallots if you haven't done that already. And we need to mince our garlic. And then we're going to grate a little cheese, little Parmesan. And chop up our artichoke hearts too a little bit. Just coarsely chop. What do you call a fake pasta noodle? Oh my gosh. I think I know this one, but I feel like I should let other people guess. Because you can imagine we do a lot of food jokes around here. So if anybody else wants to comment with a guess to that one, what do you call a fake pasta noodle? I want to let other people have some guessing fun. We'll give you guys a few minutes to pop it in there. Yes, impasta. You told us. I love it. I love it. It's so cute. There's got to be some good other ones. Nothing's coming to mind immediately. But if I think of any more, if anybody else can think of one, I'm all ears. So by the way, talking about our ingredients, the base of this dip is cream cheese, but then also Greek yogurt. So a lot of creamy dips tend to have like sour cream in them, which, as you guys know, if you've been watching our Facebook Lives, we're not a huge fan of sour cream if we can avoid it. We have another joke. What did the pecan say to the walnut? Oh, what? I think I have a guess. I don't think I've heard this one before. Can I guess? Is it you crack me up? Or maybe? Could that be it? Oh my gosh, you guys got me through this spinach tearing process with jokes. I love it. Okay, so I have, I should have done some of the spinach tearing before. So, whew, it's like my workout for the day. I have all my spinach in a colander, coarsely torn. Okay, now we're gonna get our shallots ready. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're friends because we're both nuts, not you crack me up. I feel like you crack me up could be a decent name. You know, you crack nuts, but yeah, we're friends because we're both nuts. I like that. So, guys, we're going to get our shallots ready. So, if you're just joining us now, again, we're making spinach artichoke dip. You haven't missed much because I basically just spent 5 full minutes tearing up spinach. The J. So now we're going to move on to chopping our shallots. So we need to cut these into a small dice. So the first thing you need to do is, I'm using a chef knife. Now, we don't have the kids use chef knives here until they're 11. Of course, you know, younger kids with one-on-one supervision at home can totally do it earlier if you feel comfortable. But I'm going to show you how we prep our shallots and onions for when we have kids chop them in class. So you take the ends off of each, right? And this is the tricky part because it's round. And so it can slip and slide around. So you really need to hold on to it. So the claw, maybe take some of the loose skin off. The claw won't work as well here unless you can get a really good grip on it. Okay, so you got to kind of top and tail the shallots. Okay, now always make sure to have a garbage bowl nearby. It comes in very handy. Okay, then you're gonna wanna peel the skin off, but it might be easier if you even cut the shallot in half lengthwise first. All right, so I'm just gonna cut these in half lengthwise. So you gotta make sure to have a stable surface, okay? So I have it set up on the flat side of the shallot. Now we are going to peel the skin off, okay? Got to be really careful about the knife slipping around. My knife just slipped a little bit even though I had my shallot on a flat surface. So that is exactly how accidents can happen. I'm sure everyone watching this, at least the adults, have cut themselves before. It is not fun. Okay, so I'm just peeling the shallot skin off. Look at how beautiful that color is. Isn't that gorgeous? It's like a pink purple, so pretty. And sometimes there's 2 layers of skin, so you definitely want to get down to where you have that vibrant purple pink color. And so the shallot kind of has almost like 2 little pods in here. Isn't that cool? You know, it's not a mini onion. They're in the onion family. So shallot is not a mini onion. It's its own thing. But it definitely, as you can see, looks very similar to an onion. And the flavor is typically described as being kind of an oniony garlic flavor. So like a cross between onion and garlic. So very delicious because I love onion, I love garlic, so perfect. So I've got, and you could taste it raw. They're a little stronger, I think, than most onions, which makes sense if they're a cross between the onion and the garlic. So now, guys, now that we've got all of our shallots peeled, almost, we're gonna go ahead and cut them into a small dice. So what that means, whoop, little itch on my nose. Gotta always itch with your forearm or something, not your fingers, so you don't get your germs on the food, right? Or you can just go wash your hands, but. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is cut our shallot into a small dice. So we're talking like about a 1/4 inch, okay? That's what a small dice is. So little cubes, so trying to make them little cubes that are a 1/4 inch. So don't overcrowd your cutting board because, you know, you don't want to, you know, you just want to be safe. And if your cutting board is crowded, sometimes you're going to cut in a way that's not safe and you could cut yourself. So holding the knife, by the way, I held a knife like this for so long, right? Thinking I was doing it like right on the handle. It's not the proper way to hold the knife. You really want to hug up on the blade, okay? Obviously you keep your finger under, right? I mean like under the handle, not under the blade, but you really want to hug up on here. This gives you more leverage. It's so much easier to cut. It changed my life when I figured it out. Feels weird at first, but this will start to feel normal so soon. So when we work at Kids Table, we will cut the shallots first into slices for the kids, and then they will use the chopper to cut them the other way, right? So we make little rainbows, see? Little rainbows. And then we give them to the kids like that, and then they can use these awesome tools to cut them this way into little squares. And then, so you're talking about a dice, small dice, because there's small, medium, large dice. So that's what we're talking about. So just little squares, about a 1/4 inch thick, wide. So I'm gonna go ahead and use a knife to cut these. All right. And don't worry, I'll bring back the chopper. So if you're just doing a knife, it's actually sometimes easier to leave the root of the shallot on. You'll see, you know, for proper chef knife skills, you leave the root on and then you cut this way and then you cut this way. But you know, I want to do this prep. I'm going to switch to the chopper to show you guys how that works. And this is a great way to cut the onion or shallot as well. The same technique can be used for cutting onion. All right. So we've got quite a bit more shallot to go. I'll switch to my chopper here in a moment. Just gonna cut up all these into slices. Hopefully your guys, is anybody chopping shallot along with me? Or you guys pre-prep it all? Hopefully someone's chopping with me. If not, I hope I'm entertaining enough while I chop my shallot. By the way, shallots make you cry like onions. My eyes are tearing up. This might be a very emotional class. So yeah, they can have those same types of fumes that get released when you cut it. So we've heard lots of techniques for not crying when you cut onions. So we've heard that you should put like a piece of bread in your mouth or like a toothpick, something that's kind of can absorb the gases. We've also heard that you can put stick your tongue out. Oh, I know, right? Somebody's, yep. Lacey is smelling the shallots and her eyes are watering. I know mine, like it's a miracle that I'm not crying yet. I'm gonna switch to my chopper because I wanna show you guys this awesome tool. So yeah, I'm a little watery. Now if I have my contacts in and not my glasses, then my eyes don't water because the contacts kind of protect my eyes. But yes, I am absolutely tearing up right now. But that's okay, we're friends. You know, crying is okay. So I'm just gonna, you know, let it go. Great. So look at these shallots. Oh, they smell so good, but they smell so strong. My eyes are tearing. I still have quite a few to go, guys. Woo! We'll be switching to garlic soon. Thank goodness, garlic does not make your eyes water. Okay, look at this. Amazing, a huge bowl of shallots. And then we'll be able to get these cooking in a few minutes. We can even get them cooking while we're prepping our garlic. By the way, if you guys haven't done this yet, we don't need our oven quite yet, but it might not be a bad idea to preheat. So we can go ahead and preheat our oven to 450 degrees. That's what our spinach artichoke dip is gonna bake at. So I'm actually gonna have to go and get myself a little tissue because I actually have tears coming down my face. Yep. So I'm gonna go and clean myself up a little bit for a second. If you guys are crying from your shallots, you should do the same. And I'm almost done with my shallots, so it'll just take me a moment to finish. Hopefully you guys are almost done too. Aw, thanks for the love, guys. I know, tear. It's okay, I'm not sad. Our tears are actually our body's way of cleaning out our eyes, right? So my tears are just trying to get rid of all those the gases that are coming out of the shallot. So no big deal. I'm gonna go wipe my face, wash my hands again, and I'll be back in just a moment. You know, good cry does that. Okay, I've just got a few pieces of shallot left to cut up. And then, now I'm gonna use this as my garbage bowl. Garbage bowls come in very handy because let's face it, nobody wants a big mess in their kitchen when they're done cooking and eating, right? So garbage bowl will help keep you organized because you can put all your garbage in one place instead of having it like kind of strewn about your workspace. My garbage bowl right over there. I've got just a few shallots left. Thank you. Yeah, I'm sorry about Mr. Sam not being here cooking. He's teaching our teen camps this week. But I'm glad that you're willing to put up with me. That's very sweet. Okay, so now we are chopping up our shallot. I'm almost done. Does anybody have any questions about our recipe so far? Anyone? The question is, what are you gonna dip in your dip? I think I might eat my spinach artichoke dip with pretzels, with little mini salted pretzels, because we have some here and I thought that would be really good. Okay, so now we have our shallot, guys. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put my pan on here. I'm not gonna heat it up quite yet. I'll wait till till I get my garlic minced a little bit, okay? So now, I'm gonna take my garlic cloves. We have 4 garlic cloves, and I'm going to cut the very tip off. That's the part where it was attached to the root. And then we're gonna peel the skin off. Oh, this one, I thought it was 2, it was actually 3. But that's okay because 2 of them are quite small. And I love garlic, so putting a little garlic in there is no big deal. Okay, great. So I've got 1 garlic clove, and here's my other one. You can always, if you have a hard time getting the skin off, you can give the garlic a little smash. Okay, there we go. And then that helps to release the skin from the garlic clove. Okay, a little smash. You can hear it crack. And then look at that, how easily it comes off. Because otherwise, peeling garlic can be very time consuming. All right, perfect. And last piece. If the garlic cloves are a little thinner, it's harder to smash. Okay. Whoop. Perfect. So now we gotta just mince these up. So first, you know, as always, when you use the chopper, you cut it into chunks. Now garlic is so sticky, so it doesn't make you cry, but it does make your fingers sticky. But it smells so good. Love garlic. It's probably my #1 ingredient. Have you guys ever had garlic scapes? So if you go to the farmer's market, around this time of year, they have the tops of the garlic that they grow up out of the ground and they're green and they twirl and they sell them this time of year. They're called garlic scapes. They're so good. So this is how you mince with a chopper. You just kind of scrape all your garlic together and go over and over and over the garlic to get it very, very tiny. And it jumps around a little bit. Again, got your clean work surface. You can just pick up the little pieces. All right. Here we go. Mince, mince, mince. garlic is pretty small now. Perfect. Now we are ready to start cooking our mixture. And then the last thing we have to do is grate our cheese. And then we just pop it in the oven. Well, mix in our cream cheese and our yogurt. That's just a little stirring. So make sure your oven at this point is preheated to 450 if you haven't done that yet. Mine is nice and preheated. And now, always wipe down the blade, even with the chopper. Perfect. Oh, that piece was still a little big. Let's get that. Okay, now we are going to put our burner on to medium. And we're gonna add a little bit of olive oil. It says 3 tablespoons. I'm just gonna eyeball it. You just want the bottom of your pan to be nice and coated with oil. And I'm gonna add my shallots. We're gonna cook these for about 3 or 4 minutes first, and then we'll add the garlic, because the shallots need a little longer to cook and garlic burns very easily. And actually, yeah, I'm gonna add the garlic a little before my spinach, but you could add the spinach and the garlic at the same time. That's actually what the recipe card says. Okay, so now, oops, I got a piece of shallot in my salt. So I'm going to scrape my garlic into this bowl so it's ready to go into my pan. And I forgot about our little artichokes. We need to just do a coarse chop on these. So we'll do that while our shallots are cooking. So these are much softer. They're so much easier to chop. Perfect. All right, how's your guys' dip coming, guys? So how many of you had all your stuff totally prepped? Because usually we do it kind of all together, but obviously tearing all that spinach took a really long time. I'm just wondering if we should do it more cooking show-like, where it's like, look, everything is already cut, and then you just throw it in. Then it's not as hands-on, right? I don't know. I'd love to know what you guys think. You want to share? All right, so we've got our artichoke hearts. I wish I had a whole artichoke to show you. That would be really cool. And these are sizzling. I hear them sizzling. I'm going to give them a stir. Make sure to spread them out on the pan so they all get a little bit of color. We're sauteing our shallots right now. And they're sizzling in that oil. You can almost, it looks like they're jumping a little bit, which is where the word saute comes from. It's the French word, verb means to jump. So it looks like the little bits of shallot are kind of jumping around in the hot pan. So I've got my artichoke hearts all. Oh, you guys already prepped too. Okay, interesting. Well, we could do it that way. The classes would definitely be much shorter. But hey, maybe we can do that. Definitely don't want you guys to have to sit around and watch me tear up 1.25 pounds of spinach for no reason. Or pound it in 1/8, I guess, but either way. A lot of spinach. Okay, great. So we've got our artichoke hearts, and I'm going to grate my cheese now. So you guys already have your cheese grated too, I imagine, huh? I'm gonna give this another stir. You guys sauteing your shallots? Are they starting to smell really good? Oh my gosh. They smell so good on my end. All right. am going to, so keep sauteing your shallots. We're gonna give them another couple minutes. We want them to be starting to caramelize just a little bit. I'm gonna grab my grater and I'm gonna get my Parmesan cheese all grated up. And then when I get back, we'll put our garlic in and then our spinach. All right, and then we'll be ready to assemble and get this puppy in the oven. Because I don't know about you, but I am hungry. All right, so I've got my, oh, my battery is gonna die. That's no good, guys. That's no good. Let's flip my charger around and hope that it's plugged in. Oh, technology. All right, so I've got my cool nifty little grater here. I'm gonna add my garlic though before I do that. I'm gonna give this a stir. Oh, it smells delicious. Hopefully your house is starting to smell like sauteed shallots and garlic now. Okay, so we can start adding our spinach. It might not be able to fit all in the pan, okay, because it's so much. It's so much. But you can just add a couple handfuls and then stir. And you'll notice the spinach wilts almost immediately. Like it just takes a few minutes for the spinach to start wilting. So you will quickly have enough room for the rest of your spinach. Okay, I'm gonna add another handful here in a moment. Perfect. One more handful, we'll give that a stir. Okay, one more handful. You can also go ahead and add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt now, because that will actually help the spinach wilt a little bit more, because it helps to draw the water out. The salt does. Okay, it's like magic. More and more spinach is fitting in my pot, in my pan. Okay, one more handful. Perfect. And another handful. This is it. So we want to let it cook down until it is pretty wilted. Okay, so it's gonna lose that raw look completely, and the leaves will be completely wilted. And it'll be interesting to see how much it is. You guys remember, this was full, like packed down full. So we'll compare this size to this when it's done, and you'll see the amazing difference. I mean, you're doing it at home, hopefully, so you'll see for yourself. But in case you're just watching and hoping to make this on your own later, it's very good. All right, so it is almost there, but you gotta keep stirring it to make sure all the raw leaves that are sitting on top end up getting to the bottom of the pan where the heat is, okay? So keep moving it around, using the spoon to just, we want pretty much all the water to cook off, because the spinach releases water as it wilts. And so we're gonna let pretty much all that water cook off. But we're almost there. I'm gonna show you what mine looks like. Look at all that. So we're gonna go a little bit more with this, like a few more minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and grate my cheese. So we only need a 1/2 cup of cheese inside our dip, and then the rest goes on top as like a cheese topping. have a little rind on my cheese. I'm gonna go ahead and cut that off so that it will be easier for me to grate. Okay, Parmesan cheese is one of my favorites. It's like really nutty. It's salty. It's a firmer cheese. I use it all the time. All right. So I'm getting pretty close to having a 1/2 cup here. Oh, almost all my water is cooked off of my spinach. I still see a little bit though. When you stir it around, you just want to see if there's still a little bit of water pooling in your pan. So if there is, keep going a little bit. Okay, perfect. So this is a 1/2 cup of cheese. Okay, so perfect. So I'm gonna save this to put inside, and I'll grate the rest of the cheese after we assemble our dip. Okay, so my spinach water, how's your guys looking? Is your water cooking off? I'm almost there. I'm almost there. Let's see what our, yep. So it says saute until it's wilted and any liquid released cooks off. So as much as I wanna just get this dip assembled, we need to let the rest of our water cook off. How's yours looking? Do you see? I can see like this, if I stop stirring, you can see the water kind of fill into the holes between your spinach. Do you guys see that? Are you guys cooking your spinach along with me right now? And so we gotta let that cook off. So we can increase the heat a little bit if we want. You know, we don't wanna burn anything, but since there's water in the pan, it shouldn't burn because there's that liquid there that's keeping things from being, you know, in that direct contact with the hot pan. All right, I think another couple minutes and we should be ready to go. But you guys let me know how yours is looking. If you think all your spinach is cooked, water is cooked off, go ahead and give me a like a happy face or a thumbs up or a heart emoji. We all know I love the hearts. Love the heart emojis. So I'll go ahead and grate the rest of my cheese for putting on top. And I'm gonna mix up my dip right in my pan, because I am a huge fan of not generating more dishes than necessary. So the trick is if you're doing this with a younger child, you'd want to be really careful because the pan is going to be hot, right? So that can be a problem. Oh, we got a thumbs up. Awesome. So your spinach is good. I still have a little bit of water in mine. That's great. Is anybody else's spinach already ready? I still have just a little water. I feel like I need to let mine go for another minute. You know, so all the times that recipes give you are always guidelines. So you have to kind of pay attention. Good recipes will tell you what to look for in your cooking process so that you can tell when it's done. You know what I mean? Okay, I think this is gonna be enough to put on top of my dip. Oh my gosh, did you taste your Parmesan cheese? Highly recommend it. Try not to lick your fingers when you're tasting, or you have to wash your hands, you know the drill. So good. Okay, this is good. Did you taste your artichoke hearts? Anybody? Kind of salty, a little juicy, delicious. Okay, I think my spinach is good now. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn my burner off, and I am going to put a hot mitt down here so that I can put my pan right in front of me. Now again, whenever you're working directly with a hot pan, you have to be super careful that you don't like burn your forearms. It's classic. If you talk to anybody who's worked in a kitchen, for any length of time, they probably have burn scars on their forearms. Awesome, you guys are ready to go? Great. So, if you're doing it this way, be very careful you don't burn yourself. If you prefer, you have younger kids or you feel safer, just use a bowl. You can take all this spinach, put it right in a bowl, and it's the same. And then you're gonna transfer it to your baking dish anyway. You just have one extra bowl to clean. Not the end of the world, right? Okay, so now we've got our spinach, our shallot, our garlic in here, all sauteed up. I also already put my salt in, okay? Now we're gonna combine this with our artichoke hearts, right? Our chopped up artichokes, because this is spinach artichoke dip. And we are gonna put our cream cheese in here. Now this is a big block of cream cheese, but luckily our warm spinach and our warm pan will help to soften it so it will mix up. So of course mine is a very big block, so I'm having a hard time breaking it up, but I'm just gonna use my spoon to break it up a little bit. You probably have the regular packets, which are a little bit smaller. But there we go. I just wanted to get it into 2 chunks. Okay, perfect. So I'm actually gonna stir this a little bit for a minute before adding anything else because the yogurt is cold. So I don't wanna cool our stuff before I get this cream cheese mixed in just a little bit. So I'm just using the spoon, like I said, to break it up. I'm kind of tossing it around in the warm spinach, which is gonna help a lot. Okay, I'll show you what mine looks like. Okay. So this is almost broken up, my cream cheese. Still gonna stir it a little bit more to get it. We want everything to be evenly distributed. We definitely don't want like big, huge hunks of cream cheese compared to, you know, pockets of just spinach. We want it nice and mixed up. So again, use your spoon, just break it up. Okay, so check out what mine looks like so far. My cream cheese is getting broken up. It's not quite there, but it's already starting to look really good. So this is where you really get your workout in, right? Okay, I think I'm ready to add my yogurt. So we have 1 cup of Greek yogurt that we're adding. And if you didn't add your salt to your spinach yet, you're gonna wanna add a quarter teaspoon of salt. And then you're also gonna add your 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese. Okay, so all my big clumps of cream cheese are broken up. I'm gonna add my yogurt. Now Greek yogurt, guys, typically has twice the protein as regular yogurt. I think that's amazing. I think it's because they strain it, so it's just a little more dense. I don't know if there's any, I've got to find out, because twice the protein. That's amazing. Okay, because you know, our food philosophy is the more nutrients you can get out of your food, the better. And we want it to obviously taste great. So if your food can taste great and be better for you, sign me up, right? Okay, so I've got my yogurt in here now, my cream cheese, my salt, and my 1/2 cup of Parmesan. I don't think I was quite a 1/2 cup. There you go. Shredded Parmesan cheese. And now I'm gonna stir this up again, and I'm gonna transfer it to a baking dish. So you can spray your baking dish with nonstick spray, just to keep your, you know, your dip from sticking too much to it. But since this is so liquidy, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. So look at this. I mean, I kind of just want to eat it now. Let's see if my pan is, I'll hold it with this anyway so you can see. Look at that. Doesn't that look so good? I feel like we could just eat it now, but we're gonna bake it because it's gonna get even more delicious. So this is where, you know, your mussels will come in handy, okay? So make sure if you're holding your pan that, you know, you're holding a part that's not hot if it's still hot. So just scoop out all this deliciousness into your baking dish. And then you're gonna sprinkle the top with Parmesan cheese. Oh my gosh, guys. Look at this. And this baking dish size is perfect. So you can kind of use the spoon like I'm doing to, you know, even the top a little bit. I'm getting as much out as I can. And I'm gonna go ahead and lick my spoon and taste this because there's no raw egg in it, so we can taste it. Just because it's not cooked, there's nothing wrong with eating this raw. And I know I want to taste it, so I'll wait till it's in the oven and taste it in a minute. Now we're going to take our extra Parmesan and sprinkle it evenly over the top. Look at that. Oh, it looks so good. Okay, I'm gonna put it in the oven. Okay, great. 450 degrees, remember. Okay, that's what it's baking at. And now I'm gonna taste my dip. You really could just eat it like this. Truly. It's so good. Is everybody's dip in the oven? Do you guys have it all in the oven? Because what we can do then, make sure, let me know, send me a little, you know, emoji, like a little thumbs up or a heart emoji or something, or you can do the comments. Either way. And then we can do a little cleanup, and if you guys want, you're welcome to hang out while the dip cooks. If you want to say goodbye and just wait for the dip to cook on your own. Oh yeah, your dip's in the oven. Did you guys taste it? Did you lick the spoon? Anybody? It's so good. Thanks, Natalie. I'm so glad you guys are enjoying it. Does anybody taste the dip? Is it so good? Okay, I probably shouldn't be licking the spoon on live Facebook here. Okay, so our dip's in the oven. You should set a timer for 10 minutes to check it. So basically what you want is you want the top to be bubbling, and you know, it could be starting to brown a little bit, maybe not, but you want the top to be bubbly. So the recipe says 10 to 12 minutes. So we suggest setting a timer for 10, and then of course you can check it and see what it looks like, and you can always leave it in for another couple minutes. So what we can do now while we wait is clean up a little bit. I don't know about you guys, but my work surface isn't so clean anymore. I didn't add any pepper to my dip. That's okay. You can always add pepper or extra salt once, you know, when you're serving. But I have to say, I tasted mine and I think it is plenty salty because, you know, Parmesan cheese, very salty. That's part of why I love it so much. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of cleanup so that when our dip comes out of the oven, we'll be ready to eat and we don't have to worry and be discouraged by the huge mess that we have. So I'm gonna go ahead and scrape all of the little bits that I have here onto, I guess I have a garbage bowl. So I'm just gonna consolidate all my dishes into one place. Oh, good, right? It's so good, isn't it, the dip? Very tasty. Like I said, at some point, maybe don't even bother to bake it. We make another dip, guys, called Easy Bean Green Dip, which is kind of similar, but we use kale or Swiss chard in it instead of spinach. And we cook that with the greens with onions and garlic, but then we just mix it with Greek yogurt. so there's no more baking. So the dip is not intended to be served warm. It's more like a cold dip. Very, very good. And that one is even better for you because it's got just Greek yogurt as the creaminess instead of what we're doing here, which is Greek yogurt and cream cheese. Because cream cheese is delicious, but let's face it, it's not exactly like that good for you, right? I mean, it's not like it's that bad for you necessarily, but it doesn't have a ton of nutrients. Greek yogurt does. You're getting, your protein and, sometimes some probiotics in there. Of course, you lose some of those in the cooking, but it's still very delicious. A little bit healthier. Okay, so I got my work surface cleaned up enough, I think, for now. Got everything kind of consolidated. Oh, let me get this over here. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna take a peek. Ooh, I can see my dip from here. It's already bubbling. It's only been a few minutes, but check I don't know if you have a light in your oven, you can see, you can open to take a quick peek, but you don't wanna leave the door open for too long because then your oven temperature, cools down because the cold air is going in. But mine is looking like it's getting relatively close to being done. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my dippers. So the recipe says you can do warm pita or pita chips. You could do this on crackers. You could do this, I saw some pretzels here, so I thought that would be really good. Anybody else has any ideas? So you do little toasts, like little crostinis, and put this dip on top. Kind of like the sky's the limit. So why don't you guys get whatever you're gonna be using for dipping, and I'm gonna go grab my pretzels, and then I'm gonna get a closer peek at my dip because I think it's really close to being done. Oh my gosh, the pretzels moved and I was so afraid they were gone, but don't worry, they're not. So I've got these little mini pretzels, which I think are gonna be really delicious. So these little guys, little salted pretzels, so good. And I can tell that my dip is pretty close to ready to go. I'm gonna open my oven and take a peek. Wow. So I'm gonna leave it in for 2 more minutes just to get a little more browned on top, but hopefully yours is ready to go. I'm gonna show you what mine looks like actually, so you can see. Look at that. Can you guys see that? It's a little browned on top, very, very bubbly. So we're gonna go ahead and taste this together. I'm gonna put it on a sheet pan because that pan is hot, hot, hot. And you can just take a little spoon, scoop it out like that. And now, of course, very hot. It's steaming. So I'm just gonna take a little scoop on my pretzel and make sure to blow on it. So delicious. I hope that you guys enjoy your dip. Please be sure to share it with people that you care for. Cooking is such a great way to show love to your friends and family. So please enjoy it together. If you have any ideas for recipes you'd like us to make for the next several weeks, please go ahead and comment on this video later or now or whenever, because I'm going to be getting those menus up. And I look forward to seeing you guys next Wednesday. And we've got a new schedule of Zoom classes starting, by the way, next Monday. So So check those out. Cupcake Wars is one theme, Summer Sensations is another theme. So lots of fun stuff to choose from. Either way, I hope to see you guys soon. Thanks so much.